Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, I see a couple of positive replies there. So, my name is Juanma from CaminoWays. Today I'm joined here by Aoife from the marketing team, and we're going to try and give you a little overview of the most popular routes for 2017, what they are like, a little bit of an insight of what our services are and what you could expect from a trip with CaminoWays. We'll share a screen shortly. And that we have prepared a little presentation for you. You might see me twice, don't get scared. First one. Perfect. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the most popular routes for 2017 and what they are all about, really. First of all, we would like to introduce ourselves. This is our multicultural team. As you can see, many different faces, many different languages spoken around the office, so I'm very easy to spot. I'm the only one wearing the St. James's hat. So, in a summary, in a nutshell, today we're going to speak about what we do, the top routes that we cover and where we can offer our trips, what we offer in those trips, some practical tips and advice that you should follow to make the most of your Camino, what the best time to do it and the best time to book is. I'll give you some resources, some insight on where else you can find information about the Camino and where you can dig a little bit more by yourself if you want to do a bit more research. And at the end we will have some time for questions and answers, so please don't be shy to ask them. Aoife will be trying to reply as soon as possible, but at the end we will have some time also to go over them. So first of all, what we do, it's walking and cycling holidays, mostly in the Camino de Santiago, but we also have our sister companies Finisterre Ways and Ireland Ways, and even trekking book for some more difficult and more experienced treks and challenges. We do offer guided and self-guided tours. Self-guided is generally the most popular way to do it. You can choose your day of when you could arrive. You can choose what date you could start and what route you want to do, and we pretty much plan it for you. And you can also go in one of our guided tours. Now they do have set start dates, so they will match or will not match very well with flights. You might have to get there a little bit earlier, a little bit later, but it just means that you will be joined by a group of like-minded people and obviously a tour guide that will give you a little bit more insight that you will have in any guidebook. We work with local people or native people or people who've been living in the area for a number of times, and we always get really good reviews about these type of tours. We can also organize group tours, so cater for large groups such as schools, parishes, charities, and we can also obviously help you raise money through this challenge, whether you're a charity or a parish. We also do Sunday walks, preparatory walks for the Camino, so if you have joined up for one of them, you can come along. It's generally held 1 or 2 Sundays per month, and it is a bit of a test, see how you're doing and what you need to improve, or you are okay just before your Camino. We also sponsor a walking festival. This year we will be sponsoring the Kerry Camino Festival in May's bank holiday, and it is quite obvious that we will sponsor the Kerry Camino based in Ireland, having that religious link with the Camino de Santiago and finishing up in St. James's Church. It was just kind of a perfect match for us, if you want. The Camino de Santiago, as most of you probably know already, is a network of trails or leading to Santiago de Compostela in northwest Spain. Here pictured are only the ones starting from France and Portugal and southern Spain, but they stretch as far as Eastern Europe and even farther really. In pagan culture and in Neolithic culture, it was kind of a way to get closer to the land of spirits, or the Spanish Tir na Nog, really. For Christians, it was a pilgrimage to the absolute remains in Santiago de Compostela, and for any nature lover and hiker, is pretty much one of the most popular long-distance walking trails in the world. I like to think of it as a part of the northern Spanish culture, and what you will see that it's quite of a harsh terrain and a rainy place sometimes in the winters. You will feel that everybody's very warm and very welcoming, and that's through many, many years of welcoming pilgrims to the lands. The most popular routes, as you can see, obviously there's one big one that stands out, is the French Way, with over 170,000 people completing it in 2015. We don't have yet the numbers for 2016, bit of a lazy cathedral this year. And right after that comes the Portuguese, but you can see with almost a third of the numbers of the French Way. A little bit farther down come the Northern, the Original, the English and the Via de la Plata. In the French Way and the Portuguese Way, especially during the peak months, you can truly expect to get that pilgrim atmosphere and that pilgrim buzz that really makes the Camino de Santiago stand out from the rest of long-distance routes and grand routes in the rest of Europe. The Northern, the Regional, English and the Via de la Plata, they could be a bit less popular, could be a bit less people, still fantastic routes, but only ideal if you were to go for a quieter route where you could have more time for yourself, more relaxation, and a bit more time for yourself. The first one we're going to start with, obviously, it's going to be the most popular, the French Way. It stretches over 800 kilometers from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port in the Pyrenees, that's still France, and walking all along the northern part of Spain. Basically, it's all landlocked, and you will see a good few rivers and lakes as you go from Saint-Jean to Santiago. You can expect very, very different landscapes, from very high mountains in the Pyrenees, the flatlands of the Meseta, then the Bierzo mountains just before arriving into Sarria, and then obviously Santiago with its famous cathedral. The whole route is available from April to October. Now, we couldn't recommend really starting any earlier, just because some of the accommodations could be closed, and no later, just because of the same reason, and also the weather could not be the most favorable. It is of medium difficulty, and in an 800 kilometer trek, we can really expect very, very different terrains. The very first section, the section from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port over to Pamplona, could be the most difficult because it can involve a really big climb in the first day. But if you have a good level of fitness, if you do a little bit of hill walking, nothing you should be scared of, and you will be rewarded with stunning views over the Pyrenees. The rest of the Meseta is pretty flat, and then it kicks up again as just before entering Galicia, the last region that you will visit on the way to Santiago. And the most popular route, obviously, is the last 100 kilometers from Sarria to Santiago. We can offer that all year round. There's a number of accommodations that we can work with, and even through the winter period, they will be still open for pilgrims. And that is you need to walk, obviously, the last 100 kilometers to get your Compostela certificate. So that is a very good way to start. If you are new to the Camino, most popular route, do it at a usually busy time, but still try to avoid June, July, August because of the heat, and you will get the perfect combination of people, terrain, Compostela, and route. So not much more you can ask for. The second most popular route, in terms, well, both historically really and in numbers, would be the Portuguese Way. It could start in Lisbon, in the capital of Portugal, and it stretches for 600 kilometers. This could be covered in a little bit more than a month. It is available from February to November, and the biggest highlights really of these routes could be the towns that you will cross by. You will pass Lisbon, Santarém, Coimbra, which is the old capital of Portugal, very beautiful medieval town, Barcelos, Porto, Ponte da Lima. They're all very, very beautiful medieval villages. They have strong Roman links to them, and you will find loads of stories and loads of history really in those towns. And you also end up in Santiago. The last 100 kilometers, they start in Tui. It is a very nice enclave. It's perched up in the hills overlooking the river Minho, which acts as a natural border between Spain and Portugal. And the town itself it's quite pretty. The walk is pretty much all along rivers. It is you go from the river Minho to the river Lodo, to the river Valga, and then you end up in Santiago, obviously, with the Eume. So it is a very nice option if you have done if you want to go for a long route, for a long distance route, and you have already done the French way, or if you want to get yourself started, you will also get that buzz off of the pilgrim atmosphere if you complete it in pretty much the summer months, May, September. You should still be able to find and meet many other pilgrims. The Portuguese Way, Portuguese Coastal Way, this obviously has to be the best. Not because I hail from Vigo, so I might be a bit biased, but scenic-wise, it's one of the most beautiful routes we can offer. Here you can see the bridge over Porto, the starting point of the Camino, and here is pretty much what you can expect to find all along the route. Small, fine sand, white beaches, and very beautiful monasteries, like very, very close to the coast. So this one, the Portuguese Coastal Way, you can stretch it as far as Lisbon and then take this variant only from Porto onwards, or you can just do it as a standalone from Porto to Santiago. It's 260 kilometers. It could be covered in as little as 2 weeks. It is available from March to October. It is really, really flat, so even though we have rated as medium difficulty, it just has to do with the length of the stages. Some of the stages will go for 30 or 32 kilometers, but they are really, really flat. So if you're well used to walking and you're used to a bit of hill walking, you will find these very, very easy. But that will give you a bit more time to explore the towns that you will pass by. It also has really, really beautiful fishing villages, and it's a little bit quieter than the French way. If you're looking to do it in May, September, it's still quite well populated. The last 100 kilometers from Bayona to Santiago are the most popular section in this route. But Porto to Bayona is also very, very famous with walkers that do not mind finishing in Santiago and they want to go for a scenic route. Obviously, you're always hugging the coast. You have that sea breeze, so even June and early September are good times to do it. Here we can see Ponte Sampaio and the small plaza in Pontevedra and the Puente de Rande, very, very close to my hometown. The English way, which we can see here, is the one most with the biggest links to English and to Irish pilgrims. It is a walk that the Irish and the English used to take when landing in Coruña or Ferrol, two of the biggest ports in Galicia. It was the one that was taken by our friends in the Camino in 2016, and we have had great reviews about it. It comprises 3 very, very beautiful coastal walking days from Ferrol, Pontedeume, Sada, and all the northern bays of Galicia. It is of medium difficulty. It has a bit of rolling countryside, so you need a bit more preparation for this. It is available from April to October, and the highlights of these routes are really the coastline of Ferrol and Pontedeume, as I said before. It's very rugged. You will see many different land masses and water masses all joining together. And obviously the Easter festival in Ferrol. It's going to be as popular as the Holy Week or the Easter week in Sevilla, but it'll be pretty similar to it. As you can see here, this is Ferrol, and the Easter celebrations are quite well attended, but very traditional. It's something that they will be very proud to show if you happen to be there at that time. This year it's in April 13th, so if you have a chance to go, and it's well worth starting your Camino from there. The Northern Way, which is one of our newest additions, is scenery-wise probably one of the prettiest. You will pass really rugged coastline and really nice beaches along the route. It includes very important and very landmarkish, if you want, towns in northern Spain, such as San Sebastian, Bilbao, Santander and its royal palace, Gijón, Ribadeo and its famous Cathedral Beach, Vilalba, and then all the way into Santiago. As you can see here, the bridge in Portugalete is part of the route of Bilbao to Santander, but you will pass many beautiful towns. It is also 800 kilometers, so expect about the same time to cover it as you could expect covering the French way. It's a very nice long distance route. Now there couldn't be that many people on it, and the first stage could be quite tough on the legs. So unless you are well fit for it, we could not recommend these. If you don't have any experience walking before or going on mountain hikes, we could not recommend that first section, as it could be quite tough. If you still want to go for a rugged coastline and when you want to explore the Basque Country and the northern regions of Spain, you should rather go for Bilbao to Santander. A very nice way to get you into it, and two very beautiful towns as well. The highlights of it, as you can see, are all the different towns, and obviously the food in the area. They boast the biggest number of Michelin star restaurants in Spain, so they must have something to their food, really. So that's it for the routes, and we will concentrate a little bit on the services that we can provide and what we can do for you once you're on the route. So we can offer the accommodation. It's selected accommodation that we pretty much handpick and we visit every year. We're exposed to everybody's feedback, so every customer has an opinion about the hotel and the food. We know them all, so we make sure that all of our hotels and all of our partners keep on top of their game, and that's the people we continue to use even nowadays. There's people that we have worked for 5 years, new hotels that opened just last year, so we have a little bit of a mix and match, but we always make sure that we deliver the best standard possible. The support we offer before and during your trip, it's in terms of walking notes, walking maps. You always have somebody available on our 24/7 assistance number. And we also offer luggage transfers and dinner arrangements should you need them. And obviously with your holiday packs, you will be also provided with your pilgrim passport and your luggage tag so that it gets carried over safely and it's stored safely when you drop it off in reception, and then when you pick it up in the following town. The guided tours, as I mentioned before, they do have a set start date and they have limited availability. So if you're thinking of joining one, or you would like to experience the Camino a little bit with a bit more of an insight, go check our website. We will have all the dates there and all the different routes. So feel free to ask for availability to any of our colleagues, basically, and we will be able to check that out for you. The accommodation, as you can see, it's basic accommodation. They're really not luxurious hotels that you could expect from such a rural places that you will cross by. You can see that they are no nonsense accommodations. They are basic, they are clean, they are comfortable. They will have your warm dinner, they will have your clean bed when you get there, and that's really all you need after a long day of walking. You can upgrade in many, many places, such as Santiago. You can see the Hostel Reyes Católicos, and we also offer our country cottages in selected places. Country cottages are especially famous in the Galician region. They are known as casas rurales, and it is really the most characteristic accommodation type that you can find in there. It's something that you will not find anywhere in the rest of Spain or even in the rest of Europe. These are very old restored manors, watermills, textile factories. So it is a very quirky, charming and characteristic places. Now they are a little bit off the route. We will provide free transfers from the trail and back to the trail in the following morning. But if you're looking to experience more of the Camino atmosphere, and if you're going on your own especially, we can recommend just go for the standard accommodation or upgrade only where it's close to the city centre. We can advise you on this and just experience the town a little bit more. If you're going for a romantic getaway though, country cottage is the way to go. The passports and the Compostela, this is a question that we get quite a lot, so we thought that we should explain it in our webinar as well. The Compostela is your certificate of completion of having walked at least 100 kilometers into Santiago or cycled or rode on a horse 200. We do not provide horse holidays, but we can do the walking and the cycling part. The pilgrim passport or credencial, pictured here, is what you need to, what accredits you really as having traveled the way. You need to get your stamp twice a day if you're doing the last 100 kilometers or the last 200 cycling, and that is just to make sure that you have been following the route and basically that you have kept on track and that the distances you covered are reasonable. Please don't try and make them all from pubs. It will look bad when you get to to a holy place in Santiago. Once you arrive there, you can claim your Compostela certificate in the pilgrim's office. It's just a stone's throw from the cathedral, and it is a nice memento to bring back, also along with your credencial full of stamps, which is what I find a little bit more charming than the Compostela itself, really. Fitness tips, as you can imagine, it is a tough walk. You'll be walking back-to-back days. You can add extra days for resting, but it will be still something that you won't do every day. The average daily distance is about 23 kilometers in all the Caminos, and the average walking time will be about 6 hours per day. Some people take longer, some people take shorter. It's really up to you and how you want to make the most of it. We personally, If and me, spent about 12 hours in the walk when we walked the Via Francigena because we couldn't help ourselves but take loads and loads of pictures. There is routes for all levels of fitness, so feel free to ask. Don't be shy to say, look, I could like an easier route. We can offer routes from Ashore to 10 kilometers per day. We seem to be having a bit of a system issue. So can everybody see me okay? And still hear me okay? Okay, we got a positive there from Janet. Thank you very much. It just seemed to be our own computers. Oh, from 2 Janets. That's lovely. Perfect, so we just resume and pick up where we left off. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I hope I'm not boring you too much. So let's continue on. Oh wow, I've gone back a long, long time. There we go. So as I was saying, we have routes for all levels. We have some routes that will cover about 12 kilometers per day, routes that can cover 40 kilometers per day if you feel like a real Ironman. So feel free to ask us to get our tips. We do have a fitness guide, a fitness ebook that you can download from our website. You can see it here, or you can request the link via email, or just by giving us a phone call and giving us your email address. And as I was saying, we are the Camino experts. We have walked most of these routes ourselves, so we can give you always the best advice possible, depending on the amount of time that you want to spend, what type of scenery you want to see. So feel free to call us, and we'll be always happy to help. The weather, as the proverb goes, there's not such a thing as bad weather, only inappropriate clothing or foul gear. So Galicia, you will see, and the north of Spain, it's green, and there's no green without water. So you can always expect a little shower if you go in for more than 2 or 3 weeks. Pack a waterproof, a light jacket, that should see you through. Good waterproof boots, they are essential. I have done it with runners. I have gone through all the blister exploding ritual, so I cannot recommend highly enough to bring a good pair of waterproof boots, especially if you're going during winter months such as October, April, that can be very wet. There's nothing worse than a wet feet. It will cause blisters, it will cause pain, and you won't really enjoy your Camino. So that is on one big promise. Apart from the webinars, you can find us on CaminoWays.com on our website. We have a number of blogs, Facebook entries. We have a YouTube channel where you can review these very webinar, and you can see me again if you want tomorrow. We have our Twitter account, so you can follow us on Twitter. And finally, just for attending these webinar, which I hope you all enjoyed, you can get your 10% off with the code that you can see on the screen, Online Camino 2017, and you can start planning your trip with us in CaminoWays.com. If you would like any specific information or any tailored route, we can pretty much tailor everything on self-guided tours, so you can just write us an email to info@CaminoWays.com, and we will try to get back to you in 24 hours. Oh yeah, good. Hello, can everybody hear me again? The lady there in the computer just wanted to kick me out completely. So I'm here for all the questions you may have now. I think you have referred to Aoife before about country cottages. Country cottages, another long walking distance from your segment ends. If so, are there shadows? Yes, indeed. They could be around, it could be from 1 to 10, 15 kilometers. So the shuttles are provided, they are free of charge, so you don't need to walk an extra 5 kilometers after a long day of walking, don't worry about that. And they are really, really charming places. They are the places where I could send my parents for a little holiday if I was giving them a little gift. So they are very, very charming, they are very, very pretty, but they are that fair bit off the route. If you're going on your own, they're going to be recommended. But if you're going with friends or with your partner, it's a perfect place for a little bit of resting. I'm going to do a Camino walk later with 2 friends. We're all doing the walk for the first time, which is the easiest trail to take for the first walk. Regarding the first walk, really I could be torn between The French Way, it is the most popular. You'll get to experience the real Camino and that real atmosphere of everybody walking together towards Santiago. Obviously, finishing in Santiago is a must if it is the first time you're doing it. Or the Portuguese Coastal Way. Now, the Portuguese Coastal Way, scenic-wise, is really pretty. If you do it in the busier months, during September, late May, early June, you will also get that buzz of excitement of everybody going towards Santiago. You will get quite a lot of people as well. And scenic-wise, it's really, really beautiful, especially the first 2 walking days where you walk along the coast and you're overlooking Vigo Bay and the CS Islands Natural Park. That'll be probably the best 2 Caminos to get you started in it.
Yeah, as well, about the Northern Way.
We've been told the first leg is a question from Cynthia. San Sebastian to Bilbao, it's 2 strenuous and more specific feedback. We have hiked the Yellow Mountains and 2 sections up the Wild Wall. Non-tourist visits up the Great Wall. That sounds like an amazing plan. It is quite a strenuous walk. You can find a full profile of the route in our website. If you go to Northern Way and to that particular section, San Sebastián to Bilbao, when you click on itinerary, you can find the full route and the full elevation profile. There's a GPS track map, so I believe you'll be pretty acquainted with these. The only bad thing, there's no big elevations in this route. The only bad thing is that there's not a meter of flat. So you will be going all day up, all day down, all day up, all day down. The views that you will be rewarded with are some of the finest in all of the Camino routes, that has to be said. But it is definitely not for everybody. If you do have a good hiking experience, obviously don't be afraid. It's not the worst hike on the planet. It is a very, very enjoyable route. And also you will pass some of the most beautiful scenery in northern Spain, so definitely go for it.
What if you want to spend 2 nights in one stop?
Also from Cynthia, was worried about spending 2 nights in one stop. That can be arranged. That is totally not a problem at all. If you want to do it in the self-guided, we can add stops pretty much anywhere along the route. If you want to do a guided tour, we could only add the extra night prior to departure or after you finish the tour, just for logistical reasons. Not everybody would want to spend the same 2 nights in the same 2 places, so you feel free to add any extra nights before the start or after the finish of the tour, after the end of the tour, and we could also arrange that.
Any question with the weather on the French Way in September?
Mm-hmm. And from Janet Lee, our first Janet to log in, who's planning to walk the French Way alone in September. What will the weather be like, and do you think it'll be safe? If you are looking to complete the whole route, Janet, you could probably look at starting very early May, so the 1st of September. Start very early September, just so that you could get into Galicia at the very early October. Now, September is famous for being probably the best weather, the driest, and also not as hot and sticky as the end of August or even July. So it'll probably be the best time to do so. If you're planning to do just the last section of the French Way, September is definitely the best time to do it. May, it's also not as popular, not as crowded, but there's a lot more chances of rain. So September is probably the way to go for you.
That's it.
Perfect. So I think that is pretty much all the questions for today. So we're going to just finish this webinar. If you have any questions at all, feel free to drop us an email at the email address we gave you before, info@CaminoWays.com, or you can give us a call to any of the numbers on the website. If you're coming from the US or from Canada, we also have US toll-free numbers. From Australia, pretty much the same. And those are from the UK, we have low rates. So thank you very much everybody for attending. Michael, if I hear safe. And we hope you enjoyed the webinar. We hope it was informative, and see you next time. Buen camino.